One of the biggest criticisms of Pokemon Let's Go was about how easy the game had become. As if the overpowered starter wasn't enough, the developers added requirements prior to facing the gym leaders. And while not all of them were ridiculous, the very first gym had a requirement which angered many fans. In order to get to fight Brock, you would have to show the guy at the door either a grass or water type Pokemon. This isn't a hard feat since there's plenty of Bellsprout or Oddish walking around between Pallet Town and Pewter City. You could even run into a Bulbasaur in Viridian Forest. And if for some odd reason you didn't have the right type of Pokemon, the guy would send you out of the gym as he tells you where to go and get a grass type. But what about the water types? There aren't any water type Pokemon available early game, but the fact that they left us the option to choose between grass and water makes me wonder if there was one, but it got taken out before the game's final release. If there was a wild water type Pokemon, it would have most likely been a Poliwag or Psyduck, both of which first appeared on the same route as the Oddish and Bellsprout in other games. Poliwag would have likely been the best candidate as they do appear on Route 22, the one to the west of Viridian City. However, you have to be surfing on the water and you can't access them until later in the game. They evolve at a similar level to Oddish and Bellsprout, and their final evolution requires a stone as well. Poliwag are also blue, which would make it easy to be distinguished as a water type Pokemon by new players. Psyduck, on the other hand, is one of the most famous water type Pokemon. It's even getting featured in the Detective Pikachu movie. However, their early game appearance wouldn't make any sense. What would a Psyduck be doing in the forest? Also, the name would make you think it's a psychic type, which it isn't. Either way, for a while before the game's release, I was really confident that Psyduck would appear in Viridian Forest. So confident that when the game came out, when Birdkeeper Toby released his first playthrough of Pokemon Let's Go, I was disappointed to see the lack of Psyduck in the forest. He didn't cover Route 22 much, so I figured they dropped the rare Poliwag in the route instead, which they didn't. So what happened? I could have sworn I saw a Psyduck in the trailers, and I'm pretty sure I saw one in Viridian Forest during one of the pre-release Treehouse Lives that Nintendo posted. When I went back to look for the missing Psyduck thinking, this would make a great video, they deleted a Psyduck before release, I was shocked to find that there was no Psyduck in sight. This, dear viewer, is called the Mandela Effect. It's a situation where people believe something had occurred or was a certain way, but then when they go to check, they cannot find their proof, not even with the sources which they were confident contained it. An example of the Mandela Effect is the Monopoly guy who doesn't have a monocle, or in our case, the missing Psyduck. Before I explain what's going on here, let me know in the comments below, did you think a Psyduck was going to appear in Viridian Forest, or am I just crazy? So what happened? Why did I think there was going to be a Psyduck in the forest? Simple. A lot of the trailers for Pokemon Let's Go included a Psyduck in them. However, they didn't give context of its background location and were juxtaposed near shots of Viridian Forest. Also, the shape and color of a Psyduck resembles that of a Kakuna, which does appear in the forest. My mind must have formed an association and assumed that there was a Psyduck there and not just a random Kakuna. Did yours? How many other facts did you know for sure are just your mind's assumptions of how things are because they were similar enough? Oh wait, I'm not supposed to be talking about things that make you question reality, just early game water type Pokemon. My final theory was that there would be an in-game trade available where you could exchange a grass type Pokemon for a water type Pokemon in Pewter City. After all, the traded Pokemon mechanic tends to be overlooked in most games, and Let's Go has done a great job of revealing overlooked mechanics like Eevee training. Mayhaps we would have gotten a Slowpoke. Maybe it would have been a gift from the lady who asks us to watch it, but then never returns. That's not kid friendly enough. And so alas, no in-game trade, no abandoned Slowpoke, only a Daily Pearl and a grass type Pokemon to fight Brock with. I guess they wanted to make the first gym pretty easy for new players. And they probably realized that having to learn too many type advantages at once was a bit too much and pushed the water Pokemon to the other end of Mount Moon. That's what I think anyways. What about you? Did you think there was gonna be an early game water type Pokemon that got taken out? And which Pokemon would it have been? Let me know in the comments below and don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the Pokédex.